What will the league have in store for them when they get there?
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing. And that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
Sophie Cunningham just got hit with an official warning from the WNBA. Yes, an actual disciplinary notice. And all because she made a playful joke about Angel Reese. That's right. A 20-second tongue-in-cheek comment during the quietest part of the offseason has now turned into a full-blown controversy. One lighthearted remark, clearly meant in good humor, and suddenly the league lost its composure. It wasn't aggressive, it wasn't hateful, it was personality. Yet somehow, this moment has been spun into something it never was. Sophie didn't insult anyone. She added a spark to what's become an overly sanitized league. But apparently, in today's WNBA, humor is a punishable offense.
A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness.
What makes the situation even crazier is how it unfolded. Sophie was joking about food, dieting, and how tough it is to eat healthy, casually mentioning gluten, carbs, and how everything tastes strange when it's free of something. Then, in passing, she quipped that she might as well become Victoria's Secret model. Call me Angel Reese. That was it. Just a harmless punchline. But the internet exploded. Within minutes, Sophie was labeled everything from tone-deaf to racist. Kathy Engelbert, the same commissioner who turned a blind eye when players threw elbows at Caitlin Clark, suddenly found her voice to discipline Sophie. But this story runs deeper. It's not about one comment. It's about control, who's allowed to speak freely, and who gets silenced the moment they challenge the narrative. By the end of this, you'll see that Engelbert's so-called official warning didn't expose Sophie's wrongdoing. It exposed the league's hypocrisy. Sophie's remark wasn't random. It was deliberate, smart, and calculated. A light jab that revealed just how fragile the WNBA's power structure has become.
She just absolutely did it all and became a magnet for attention and an icon for sports fans, certainly little girls, certainly mine as well, playing her basketball and watching her play.
Remember the special whistle line from Aya Wilson? The reigning MVP and self-proclaimed face of the league mocked critics who said she got superstar calls while throwing a thinly veiled shot at Aaliyah Boston. During the playoffs, Boston couldn't get a single call to go her way. Yet Aya's sarcastic post about special whistles went viral for all the wrong reasons. Fans saw arrogance, not confidence. And here's where it gets interesting. Engelbert said nothing. No statement, no warning, no disciplinary talk. The message was clear. Some players can say whatever they want, and others can't. The WNBA has created a hierarchy where the chosen few are untouchable, and everyone else walks on eggshells. Sophie Cunningham just became the latest example of what happens when you step outside that controlled image.
Caitlin is a great player, and I think the way that she's kind of came into this league, she's continuing to hold her own and show everyone what she can do.
Now, let's rewind to the moment that started it all, the Victoria's Secret comment. Sophie's joke wasn't mean-spirited or personal. Angel Reese did walk the runway for Victoria's Secret, a factual event that everyone was already talking about. Sophie merely referenced it with humor, yet within minutes social media turned it into a battlefield. Twitter and TikTok feeds filled with outrage. Instagram comment sections were chaos. Suddenly, it wasn't about sports anymore. It was about race, privilege, and identity. And then Engelbert stepped in, not to calm the situation, not to encourage unity, but to release a carefully worded PR statement condemning remarks that could be interpreted as racially insensitive. The irony? No one interpreted it that way until the league framed it that way.
Aside from the numbers, the viewership, the attendance, the way that she plays the game, she's ultra competitive, her ability to really stretch the floor and find her teammates.
Let that sink in. Sophie got a league warning for a joke that wasn't even about race. Meanwhile, Angel Reese can mock Caitlin Clark's looks on national television. Aya Wilson can taunt rivals publicly, bragging about favoritism from refs. Yet Engelbert says nothing. That's not equality. That's selective enforcement. When leadership applies rules inconsistently, it doesn't protect the game. It undermines it. What happened to fairness? What happened to free speech? The WNBA claims to be about empowerment, but silencing players for humor isn't empowerment. It's control, plain and simple.
And it takes time for people to want to be a part of it and to see it. I think it does take star power, and we're seeing how the value of that in the Caitlin Clarks.
Here's what most people don't realize. Sophie's comment was part of something bigger. She's not just a player. She's building a brand. She's one-third of Trace Letch's, co-hosts her own podcast, has become one of the WNBA's few truly unfiltered voices. That makes her dangerous to a league obsessed with image management. Sophie understands that in today's media ecosystem, controversy equals engagement. She knows what drives clicks, names like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Mention either, and you're trending by lunchtime. But that's not manipulation. That's strategy. Sophie wasn't being petty. She was claiming her space in a conversation dominated by a few protected stars. Engelbert doesn't want independent voices. She wants obedient ones. And that's why Sophie's warning wasn't about the comment. It was about control.
I think that's what she's done for the game, in general. I don't say women's basketball. I say the game of basketball, period. You want to see a show. And I think that that's the biggest thing. You always talk about Steph being a showman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a showman right here.
Yes.
You're able to have sellout crowds to come and see you play. You have student sections that hate you, that want you to lose. That's what sports is, and that's what competition is. And Caitlin's brought all of that in.
This controversy exposed something ugly that's been simmering under the surface for 2 seasons. Every time a white player so much as jokes about a black star, it becomes a racial scandal. It's never about intent. It's always about perception. And perception has become weaponized. Sophie knew this dynamic existed, and by testing it, she exposed it. She didn't say anything hateful, and yet the response proved her point. The WNBA doesn't operate on fairness. Operates on fear. Sophie's humor wasn't cruel. It was ironic, observational, and completely within the spirit of sports banter. But irony is forbidden if it challenges the wrong people. Engelbert's WNBA doesn't reward authenticity. It punishes.
You talk about players that change the game when they're on the court, whether they're touching the ball or not. You have to guard her when she steps into the gym. And so I don't think we've seen anything like that in women's basketball. I've played against a number of great shooters.
Yes.
Somebody that when they walk in the gym, you have to guard them. And I think the way the game is played has allowed her to showcase that skill, to be able to take that shot being a good shot. It speaks to where basketball is right now.
It's all about double standards. When Caitlin Clark hosted Saturday Night Live, critics said she was distracted and losing focus. When Angel Reese walked the Victoria's Secret runway, the media called it empowerment. But when Sophie Cunningham made a mild joke about that same moment, suddenly she was racist. The pattern is undeniable. The WNBA's rules shift depending on who's involved. And Engelbert? She enforces those shifting rules like a PR dictator. This is the same commissioner who ignored the physical targeting of Caitlin Clark all season long. But one playful remark from Sophie, and suddenly there's a league-wide statement about values. That's not leadership. That's hypocrisy.
Yeah, I mean, the energy that we're getting, the reception, the eyes that we're getting on us, it's amazing. And it's just because of that new generation that's coming.
The numbers tell their own story. Aya Wilson shot 19 free throws in a single finals game. 19. The entire Phoenix Mercury roster had fewer combined attempts than one player. Instead of addressing obvious officiating imbalance, Engelbert's office focused on punishing Sophie Cunningham for a harmless quip about a fashion show. It's absurd. The league's priorities are backward. Engelbert's WNBA doesn't run on fairness. It runs on optics. Sophie didn't commit a sin. She broke the illusion. By issuing that warning, Engelbert didn't silence Sophie. She amplified her. Fans now see exactly what's going on, and they're not buying the PR spin anymore.
So you know who Caitlin Clark is and what she's been able, her impact in this league and especially this year. So however we can get it, I'll take it for me personally. So just thankful that I'm able to be a part of it and still be here to witness it.
Listen closely to players and fans. They're frustrated. You can't even breathe near Aya Wilson without hearing a whistle. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark gets thrown to the floor and nothing happens. Nafi Sakalya literally had her leg twisted under another player. Still no call. But exhale too close to Aya, and it's 2 shots at the line. Everyone sees it. Everyone knows it. This isn't bitterness. It's honesty. Aya is one of the best players in the world, but she benefits from calls others don't get. True greatness comes with self-awareness, and when she mocks critics instead of acknowledging the truth, it feels like arrogance, not confidence. The Indiana Fever nearly upset the Aces, and if not for injuries and officiating, that series might have ended differently. But the league's favorite narrative had to be preserved no matter the cost.
I'm sitting there like, oh my God. But she's so crafty. This is what people don't know about Caitlin. She's not just a 3-point shooter. She's a great passer, not a mediocre passer, not so-so. She is a great passer, but also she's crafty. I saw her get the ball, lay it up on the back door cut, like they waiting for her to pop out to the 3-point line. Boom, she slips back door, gets that bucket. Like she is crafty, and she's just a rookie. She's just a rookie. That level of greatness, that level of play on a consistent basis as a rookie puts you up in the upper echelon of any league, definitely the double.
Now, put that next to Sophie's so-called controversy, and the hypocrisy becomes impossible to ignore. Aya mocks opponents and gets praised. Sophie makes a joke, and she's punished. It's the same pattern every time. Angel and Aya are free to say whatever they want. Criticize refs, taunt rivals, turn interviews into brand campaigns, and Engelbert calls it authenticity. But when Sophie Cunningham shows a hint of that same individuality, it's suddenly a violation of professionalism. The inconsistency is laughable. The WNBA claims to celebrate strong voices, but only when those voices fit its script.
What I wanted to do was meet her. I didn't have a phone. My dad didn't have his phone, so I just ran over. It's like, can you sign my shirt? Signed my shirt, gave her a hug, ran away. It's like the most vivid memory I have of like women's basketball growing up. And like, honestly, like I still tell everybody that story because like it meant so much to me. It's like so cool.
This isn't about discipline. It's about dominance. Engelbert's warning to Sophie wasn't about correcting behavior. It was a reminder. She controls who speaks. The aftermath proved it. Overnight, social media transformed into a mob. Influencers, reporters, and fan accounts piled on, calling Sophie racist and privileged. The WNBA didn't just allow it, they orchestrated it. They needed a villain to protect their favorites. But in doing so, they revealed the truth. This league doesn't want equality. It wants obedience. Engelbert thinks she's protecting the WNBA's reputation, but she's eroding its integrity. Fans are finally noticing. Sophie's warning didn't silence her. It amplified her message.
I thought that they were professional, like as anyone at this level would be. I'm always impressed by the two of them. I think it was also really fun to see them playing together tonight. They had some synergy and the maturity that they have going in, not even just being here at All-Star.
While Sophie faces backlash, Aya keeps cracking jokes about special whistles, and Angel keeps doing interviews about empowerment, untouched, untouchable, and unbothered. The double standard couldn't be clearer. The league enforces rules on one side and glorifies the other. Sophie, however, figured something out. Controversy is currency. Angel Reese proved it first. Every viral moment brought her another sponsorship. Sophie just flipped the formula. If the league won't give her PR support, she'll make her own spotlight. Every insult, every outrage cycle, every article calling her a villain, it all feeds her brand. Engelbert accidentally created a bigger star by trying to suppress one. The WNBA's problem isn't Sophie Cunningham. It's the mirror she's holding up.
Put Caitlin Clark on Team USA, absolutely. Any USA basketball experience for someone as young as Caitlin Clark is going to benefit America for years and years and years and years. So, yeah, I would have put her absolutely on team.
That's why Engelbert came down on Sophie, not because she hurt anyone, but because she disrupted the narrative. She reminded fans that equality in this league is conditional. Engelbert believes she's protecting the WNBA's image, but in reality, she's exposing how fragile it is. The harder she tries to control voices like Sophie's, the more fans begin to wonder what else is being hidden. The league stands at a breaking point. Players are divided, fans are frustrated, and the supposed villain, Sophie Cunningham, has become the voice of every athlete tired of double standards. She didn't damage the WNBA's image. She revealed it. Engelbert's warning wasn't punishment. It was proof that the league only celebrates freedom of speech when it's convenient. Sophie's warning might just be her biggest victory, because she's not just talking, she's forcing the WNBA to face the truth it spent years trying to hide.